Hey, it's Neve, and welcome to day 6 of Shine Video Challenge. I'm really excited that we're now officially in the second half of the challenge. It feels like it's totally flying, but I did want to mark the occasion and congratulate you on how far you've come. And if you haven't gotten this far, if you're just joining us late or you've fallen behind, that's totally fine. Go ahead and hop on in here with us. It's never too late. We'd love to have you, and you can get caught up so quickly. So do check out the description of this video, either above, to the side, or down there, to get some useful links that will help you get caught up. Okay, so that brings me to today's tip. And before I dive into today's tip, I want to take a moment to remind you of your mantra, which is connection, not perfection. As we move through the challenge and learn more tips and learn more of like how to get the framing right and the lighting right and all of this stuff right, it's very easy to let perfectionism slip in and to feel like we can't record unless everything is set up just so. And the truth is, it really doesn't matter. While I'm going to teach you how to make these videos look really great, it's really for you to feel confident in sharing them. Your audience mostly just wants to feel that real human connection. So remember, connection, not perfection, and be very light and easy with yourself. But for today's tip, what we're looking at is your camera level, okay? So when we're setting up our camera, it's very easy to go, well, where exactly should this thing be? What you want to do is you want to line it up so that your lens is at eye level. So your lens should be roughly kind of level with your eyes so that when you're looking at it, the person on the other side feels like they're sitting there in the room with you having a very equal conversation. Because look what happens if I have the lens below me. So if I am looking down at the lens, if the lens is a lot lower than me, it feels like I'm talking down to you. And sometimes it can make people feel very uncomfortable, like I'm trying to tell you what to do, or I'm trying to be authoritative or something like that, so it can really break the connection. Now, the other thing you might be tempted to do is the beauty shot, because so many of us look so much nicer when you take this kind of angle where the camera is above you, but it feels really weird and unnatural. It doesn't feel like a real conversation at all. So you want to make sure that your camera is roughly eye level. So if you're on a laptop, you want to make sure that the back is tilted to about 90 degrees. I use this line on the wall to line it up and make sure that they're pretty much perpendicular. I don't know if that's even the right word. But yeah, you want to basically have it nice and straight and lined up and at your eye level. So for my laptop, I use these like inbox trays to stack up my laptop. But you also can stack up a bunch of books. When I had a smartphone, I just would stack up a bunch, and I do have a smartphone, but when I was recording on a smartphone, I'd stack up a bunch of books and then put a like glass or something at the top for it to lean against, and then I could get it at eye level. It's much better as well if you can go hands-free, if you can stack stuff up rather than having to hold it up, because you'll find that it can often free you in your communication where you can just be even more you. So I'd encourage you to try that today. Stack stuff up to get your camera to eye level and go hands-free and see how that feels. Okay, so that brings me to today's prompt. And today's prompt is one that I love because it kind of digs into what we love about what we do. Okay, so yesterday we got to hear more about what you do, and now we get to look at what is that thing that you love about it. Okay, so I've been reading this book called The One Thing, which is actually all about the thing that you do that has the most impact. But it got me thinking, you know, for most people, there's one moment in their day-to-day business or their day-to-day work or whatever it is that they do, there's this moment where they just love it. Where they love it so much, they feel so totally themselves that it makes everything else that they have to do for their work or business worth it. And so I want you to think about that moment. Like when I worked making coffees, I loved actually making the coffee. There was like this moment where I would get into this amazing flow of like pulling shots and then pouring coffee and catching them and making them all perfect and taste amazing, and I would feel so great. But in my business, it's much more me, you know? And so in whatever you're doing, I want you to think about that thing, that moment where you feel like, yes, I'm me, but I'm an awesome version of me. This is why I do what I do. So for me, that moment is very often recording videos. I love when I can turn on a camera and talk and I get into this zone, this like zone where I feel like what I'm talking about is just flowing out of me. Often I don't even remember what I said after the end of the video. The voice in my brain just shuts up and I just go. And it's such an amazing feeling. It doesn't happen every time I record, but it happens quite a bit where I just feel like I am sharing really important things and I'm being me, but it's also, yeah, it's also like the best version of me. I get into this wonderful video flow every now and again. So then it makes all of the other stuff that you have to do and like editing up the videos and sharing the videos and all of that stuff, all of that is totally worth it for that moment where I know that I have created something great from inside of me and then I can go and share it with the world. So that is what I want to hear about today from you in your work or in your business. What is that one moment where you feel totally you, like the best version of you, and it makes everything else that you do worth it? Don't forget, eye contact with the lens, face lit, heart open, and connection, not perfection. Can't wait to see your videos today.